Chapter 6. The Return. An Unpleasant Discovery.
It's been months since you left the wild man marooned again on his hellish island. You still get a pang of guilt every time you think about him waving his fist at you as you set off alone with the treasure. Poor wretch.
Your route back to the tavern has been long but fairly uneventful. First you sailed to a nearby larger island and used some of the coins from your treasure chest to bribe another ship to take you back to London. You had to convince them you were just a travelling salesman and the treasure chest contained nothing but rags. You hoped you could sell at the markets.
They discovered it was full of treasure.
Who knows what they might do so they could keep it all for themselves? There was one scuffle when the shipmate tried to open your chest. It was a good job you kept it locked. You managed to fight him off, but he did poke you in the eye before he ran off. You had to tear a piece of your clothes off to make a patch for it.
Now you finally step foot once again inside the tavern with the treasure chest beside you. You scan across the room looking for the old sea captain who had given you that map so long ago, but he's nowhere to be seen. So you stop a passing sailor.
Have you seen the old captain today? His scruffy black hair and an eye patch.
Your voice sounds low and raspy.
Must be from all those months on sea. The sailor gives you a strange look and walks off, shaking his head and laughing nastily. You spy the chair the old sea captain had been sitting in on the eve you spoke. You drag your chest across the room towards it and slump down on the soft leather seat. You feel 1,000 years old, as if you've been traveling for a lifetime.
Where could he be? You wheeze. Frustrated, you look around the room once more until something terrifying catches your eye. Your heart stops. No, it can't be. The dreadful sight before you is nothing more than your own reflection in a mirror on the opposite wall. It is your face, all right, only a grotesque, horrible parody of what you remember. Gone is your smooth skin, thick hair, and straight back, and instead you see an old man, bent over, bedraggled, lines etched into your face. The confusion and horror you are experiencing only becomes worse when you realize who you now resemble in every way. The sea captain. You have somehow become that old man who first spoke to you in this tavern a year ago. But how could this happen? Are the stories of curses really true? Is there some witchcraft or sorcery that has done this to you? You can hardly believe it, but you know it must be true. How else could a person age 50 years in only a few months?
You sink into your chair, all the riches you risked your life for.
They seem worthless. Now that you know, it has cost you your youth.
Suddenly, a thought strikes you. Perhaps there is some sort of clue on the map to rid you of the curse. You hastily pull the map from your pocket and turn it over to see 2 lines of verse you'd never noticed before. To those who seek this cursed treasure, your youth will be snatched from you forever. The only way to reverse the spell is to give this map to someone else.
So that was why the old sea captain needed your help.
Not because he didn't want to make the trip himself, but because he needed someone else to take the curse instead of him. The swine. How could you have let yourself be tricked? Your eyes burn with anger that slowly fades with the realization that you are doomed unless you do exactly the same as the old sea captain. Find another younger person to take your place. Your one good eye darts from one person to another until it finally settles on a young person leaning on a wall.
Here, young one.
You become. The end.